Success does not come to those who wait patiently for life to deliver a miracle. Success does not care for your wishful thinking, your longing, or your timid hopes. It bows to those who command it. You cannot enter this world half awake and expect the gates of achievement to swing open. The world has never rewarded the faint-hearted, nor will it ever. It is time to stop hoping for your breakthrough and instead start constructing it brick by brick, thought by thought, action by relentless action. Self-belief is not a passive ingredient in the formula of achievement. It is the foundation, the fire, and the force. Until you decide, absolutely, unapologetically, that you are worthy of greatness, you will continue to live beneath your potential, waiting for permission that will never come. Every man and woman who has risen to distinction in any field did not stumble into their destiny by accident. They first became the architects of their inner world. They did not merely hope for the best, they sculpted the mental patterns that made the best possible. They confronted their weaknesses and refused to coddle them. They looked their fears in the face and declared, "You are not my master." You must do the same. Self-belief is a muscle. If you neglect it, it atrophies and leaves you limp before the demands of life. If you train it intentionally, ruthlessly, day after day, it becomes an unbreakable force that moves you through every obstacle. People often ask, how do I get motivated? The answer is direct. Motivation is fleeting, belief is permanent. If you rely on fleeting emotion, you will fall with every change of the wind. But when you set your belief as the immovable anchor of your mind, storms become irrelevant. The world can rage, critics can laugh, obstacles can multiply, and you keep moving. You do not look for reasons to stop. You search only for ways forward. That is the attitude of every conqueror, every builder, every leader who has transformed not only his own life, but the world around him. Understand this. You are not required to have every answer before you begin. You do not need the world's approval before you act. Most of history's greatest creators, innovators, and empire builders were doubted, criticized, and laughed at until the moment their vision became reality. Then, suddenly, the world pretended it always believed in them. Do not wait for applause to begin building your legacy. If you require external validation, you will never move beyond mediocrity. Your self-belief must become your fuel. It must burn so brightly within you that no amount of darkness outside can dim it. Self-creation is your birthright and your responsibility. Too many people drift through life clinging to an outdated identity, shackled by the stories they've been told or have told themselves. They say, "This is just who I am," as if the blueprint of their character is set in stone. But you are not a statue. You are a living, breathing, thinking, adapting force. The beliefs you choose today shape the results you get tomorrow. If your current identity is keeping you small, then it's time to outgrow it. If your habits serve only your comfort and not your ambition, then they are your enemy, not your ally. Decide who you must become to achieve the life you want and begin the construction now. Every moment of self-doubt is a thief robbing you of progress. Every negative thought you tolerate is a termite chewing away at your foundation. You must become ruthless with the inner voice that whispers, "Not enough, not yet, not for you." Replace it with the voice that commands. Move, build, rise. The world does not owe you success, but it will surrender to the individual who insists on it. When you take responsibility for your belief, you seize the lever that can move mountains. Self-pity has no place in this equation. Victimhood will not fund your dreams. Only self-mastery can do that. Discipline your mind to focus on possibility, not limitation. Your thoughts are the seeds from which your reality grows. Plant ideas of strength, courage, ability, and progress, and you will reap a harvest of achievement. Let negativity take root, and you will live in a desert of frustration. Every day, you must water the garden of your mind with powerful affirmations and relentless intention. You must guard your mental gates from doubt, laziness, and fear as fiercely as you would protect your most valuable treasure, because that is what your mind is. the ultimate source of wealth or poverty. The process of self-creation demands sacrifice. You must be willing to give up the habits that keep you ordinary. You must reject the comfort of excuses, the allure of procrastination, and the easy companionship of other people's approval. You must be willing to stand alone in your certainty when others are paralyzed by their uncertainty. This is not the path of the crowd. This is the narrow road that leads to greatness. Those who walk it are often misunderstood, sometimes mocked, but always rewarded in the end. You will be tested. Life will present you with reasons to doubt yourself, to lower your standards, to accept less than you desire. You must respond by raising your belief higher, sharpening your vision, and doubling down on your discipline. You are not obligated to accept the limits of your upbringing, your environment, or your past failures. Every day you awaken with the power to begin again, to choose differently, to sculpt a new reality with your actions and your faith. Success is not an event. It is a process of continual self-creation. The person you are today is only the raw material for the person you must become tomorrow. Growth is uncomfortable. It requires you to shed old skins, old stories, old relationships that no longer support your elevation. The price of a transformed life is the death of the person who is willing to settle. If you want more, you must become more. No one can do this for you, and no one can stop you once you decide. Each day is an opportunity to affirm your commitment to self-belief and self-creation. Begin every morning by declaring your intention. I am building a mind that cannot be defeated. I am forging a character that is immune to circumstance. I am constructing habits that serve my highest ambition. Then move through your day as a builder moves through his site, deliberate, unyielding, unstoppable. Do not be distracted by temporary setbacks or fleeting discomfort. Remind yourself that every moment of effort is laying the bricks for a legacy that cannot be erased. People will try to limit you with their own doubts. They will tell you what's not possible, what's not practical, what's never been done before. Smile and keep building. Your vision does not need to be understood by the masses. It needs only to be believed by you. The greatest empires of thought, business, art, and leadership have always begun in the solitude of one person's relentless mind. Protect your vision from the poison of skepticism. Let it grow strong and bold until it becomes undeniable. You will know you have truly begun the journey of self-belief and self-creation when you stop waiting for the world to give you a sign and start becoming the sign for the world. When you stop following and start leading, not with bravado, but with certainty born of inner conviction. When you stop asking for permission and start acting as if your dreams are already inevitable, this is the mental revolution that precedes every external revolution. Nothing in your life will change until you change. But when you do, when you become the person who cannot be denied, the world bends to your determination. New opportunities appear. New relationships form. New results compound. Your progress becomes inevitable because your belief and your identity make it so. Do not pause here. The journey continues, deeper and stronger, as you discover how to convert this relentless self-belief and inner creation into unstoppable forward movement. That is the next evolution. True self-belief does not announce itself with bluster or empty bravado. It radiates quietly, relentlessly, from every word you speak, every action you take, every decision you make. It is not the kind of confidence that crumbles in the face of a harsh word or a skeptical glance. It is the unshakable conviction that no matter the obstacle, you are the person who will find the way through. But here is the paradox that most miss. To wield self-belief as a weapon for success, you must discipline your mind every hour of every day. This is not a one-time decision. It is a practice, a philosophy, a lifelong commitment. And until you have made it, all other ambitions will remain out of reach, no matter how fervently you chase them. Consider what happens inside the mind of the person who lives by default, who drifts from one day to the next without conscious command over their thoughts. This person may have moments of inspiration, flashes of ambition, but they vanish like smoke the moment adversity arrives. The world is full of these dreamers, well-meaning, hopeful, and yet perpetually frustrated. They want, but they do not will. They wish, but they do not work on themselves. The universe does not reward intention alone. It bows to those who make their belief so strong that it overpowers every doubt and forges ahead with relentless, unbreakable resolve. To discipline your mind is to accept that not every thought you think is true. Not every impulse is worthy. Not every fear is to be obeyed. You are not your fears. You are not your doubts. You are not even your circumstances. You are the consciousness that selects, shapes, and sculpts your reality through choice. If you leave this process to chance or habit, you become a slave to the lowest energies of your mind. But if you seize control, if you make it your highest daily priority to choose thoughts of power, purpose, and victory, your mind becomes an instrument for success. You create momentum. You attract circumstances, people, and opportunities that match your new frequency. Now, do not misunderstand. The discipline of belief is not some magical thinking or naive optimism. It is the deliberate training of your mind to reject the lies of limitation, to challenge every voice that says stop, give up, or you're not enough. It is the conscious refusal to accept a life smaller than the one you desire. This is a daily battle, a war you wage inside your own mind. You must be prepared to fight for your future, because the default setting of the world is mediocrity, not greatness. Ask yourself, what are the dominant thoughts that run through your mind from the moment you wake until the moment you sleep? Are they thoughts of power, progress, and purpose? Or are they shadows of worry, self-doubt, and regret? Most people have never truly examined the mental loops that keep them stuck. They walk through life replaying the same old narratives, stories of failure, rejection, inadequacy, until those stories become their reality. If you want to change your life, you must interrupt this cycle at its root. Every time an old, limiting thought appears, you must challenge it. You must replace it with a new narrative, one of ability, ambition, and destiny. This process is not easy, but it is simple. Write down your dominant limiting beliefs. Be brutally honest. Then, for each belief, construct its opposite, an empowering statement of possibility. Do not wait until you feel like believing it. Speak it, write it, embody it, again and again, until your subconscious accepts it as truth. You are reprogramming your mind, and the process requires repetition and faith. But over time, your new beliefs will take root and begin to bear fruit. You will notice a change in your attitude, your actions, your results. There will be moments when you slip, when old habits reassert themselves, when doubt creeps in and tries to reclaim its throne. Do not panic. Do not indulge in self-condemnation. Simply notice, interrupt, and return to your chosen belief. This is mental discipline in action, falling down and rising up stronger every time. Eventually, the new patterns become automatic, and self-belief is no longer a conscious effort, but a natural state of being. Do not allow the opinions of others to set the temperature of your self-belief. The majority are content to live safely, quietly, within the prison of their own doubt. If you listen to them, you will become like them. Learn to draw your confidence from within. When you feel resistance, when you are criticized, doubted, dismissed, see it as confirmation that you are leaving the herd. Every great achiever has been told they were foolish, unrealistic, or out of their depth. If you are not being doubted, you are not aiming high enough. Use skepticism as fuel, not as a leash. You must also recognize the company you keep. Surround yourself with people who challenge your limits, not those who reinforce them. Your environment is a mirror of your standards. If you tolerate negativity, excuses, and small-mindedness in those around you, you will find those same traits infecting your own mind. Raise your standards and your circle will evolve to match them. Seek out those who are relentless, ambitious, and uncompromising in their own growth. Let their energy reinforce your own. Do not look for shortcuts. There are none. The only path to enduring self-belief and self-creation is persistent, consistent inner work. Every day you must invest in your mind. Read, listen, study, reflect. But more than that, you must act. Confidence is not built in the armchair. It is forged in the arena of life. Each time you take action despite fear, your belief grows. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, your integrity strengthens. Each time you persist when others quit, your sense of identity expands. Vision is essential. See in your mind's eye the person you intend to become. Hold that image so vividly, so relentlessly, that it crowds out all opposing visions. Speak it aloud. Write it in detail. Reflect on it morning and night. Your subconscious mind is always listening, always learning. Feed it visions of greatness, and it will organize your thoughts, actions, and circumstances to create that reality. Action without belief is wasted motion. Belief without action is wasted potential. Marry the two and you become unstoppable. When you live from this place of unwavering self-belief and relentless action, you become a force that nothing can deny. Your confidence becomes contagious. Others sense your certainty and begin to treat you as the person you believe yourself to be. Opportunities gravitate to you because you have become the rare individual who commands them. Remember, no one will fight for your dreams the way you must. The world is neutral. It owes you nothing. Your family, your friends, your colleagues may support you, but they cannot do your inner work. You must carry the torch, light your own fire, and tend it every day. When you master this discipline, you become self-sufficient. Not in the sense that you need no one, but in the sense that your destiny is not at the mercy of anyone. Success is reserved for the few who refuse to accept the limits of the crowd. Most will choose comfort over growth, safety over risk, excuses over results. That is their choice. Your choice is to rise, to believe, to become, to make each day a testament to your commitment, to turn your mind into an engine for achievement and your life into evidence of what is possible when belief meets discipline. This is not the easy road, but it is the only one worth traveling if you wish to look back on your life with pride and say, I gave everything to become everything I could. The cost is high. The rewards are higher still. Begin today, renew your commitment tomorrow, and never stop. The world cannot deny the man or woman who refuses to doubt themselves, who takes action as a way of life, who turns discipline into destiny. The next stage is to transform this internal revolution into visible, practical results, the work that makes your belief unbreakable and your progress inevitable. You will never discover the true extent of your abilities until you confront yourself daily, mind and spirit, with the unwavering demand that you move forward regardless of your circumstances. The true test of self-belief is not how you perform when all is easy, but how you command yourself to act when life seems to offer only resistance. Most men surrender their power at the first sign of hardship, excusing themselves with the language of limitation, too old, too young, too late, too soon. These are not facts. They are mental constructions, and they are the bars of your invisible prison. If you want to transform, you must abandon every excuse, every story that lets you off the hook. Stand up and look your life in the face. If you are dissatisfied, do not shrink. Let that dissatisfaction burn. Let it push you to action, to growth, to the next level of your existence. Self-creation is not a wish. It is a series of daily, sometimes minute-to-minute decisions. It is waking up earlier than you want, sacrificing comfort, and telling yourself the truth about your results. Weak minds fantasize about their potential while strong minds measure their progress and hold themselves accountable. To live in the world of self-creation is to treat every day as a new opportunity to reforge your character. You are not the sum of your past mistakes or even your past successes. You are what you do now with this moment in this hour. This truth is both liberating and terrifying. for it means the responsibility for your success belongs to no one but you. Begin by refusing to let your emotions dictate your actions. The mind will present you with every excuse, every imagined problem, every fear that it can conjure in an attempt to protect you from discomfort. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. When the mind tells you to delay, to rest, to wait until the conditions are perfect, answer with action. Build the habit of doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. This discipline is the seed of all success. For if you can train yourself to move forward in the absence of motivation, you will find that motivation follows action, not the other way around. You must also develop the discipline of focus. The world will conspire to steal your attention, to distract you with trivia and noise, to lure you into the comfortable mediocrity of consuming rather than building and producing. Reject this trap. Carve out sacred time each day for the deep work that moves your vision forward. Guard this time as you would guard your fortune, for in truth, your focus is the greatest fortune you possess. When you give your best energy to your most important work, day after day, the results will compound beyond your imagination. Notice how the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your actions. If you fill your mind with resentment, envy, or self-pity, your actions will mirror that poison. You will sabotage your own efforts, procrastinate on your highest priorities, and attract negative outcomes. Train yourself to see the opportunity in every challenge. Turn setbacks into lessons. When others complain, you remain silent, conserving your energy for solutions. Your mind is your workshop. Tend to it as you would a garden, weeding out the useless and nurturing what is useful, beautiful, and strong. You must become ruthless with your standards. It is easy to lower the bar when no one is watching, but this is where character is forged. When you promise yourself to do something, do it. If you set a goal, pursue it with intensity. Let your word be law, first and foremost to yourself. The most destructive form of self-betrayal is breaking your own promises in secret. Every time you do, you erode the foundation of your self-belief. But every time you honor your commitment, even in the smallest matters, you reinforce your identity as a creator, a finisher, a leader. Do not fear solitude. Most people run from themselves, filling every silence with distraction because they are afraid of what they might find in the quiet. The man who is comfortable in his own company, who can sit alone and examine his thoughts, fears, and desires, is the man who controls his destiny. Solitude is not loneliness. It is the crucible in which you forge clarity, vision, and resolve. Make time every day to reflect on your progress, your direction, your intentions. Ask yourself hard questions and demand honest answers. Growth happens in the light of awareness, not in the darkness of denial. At the same time, you must understand that self-belief is not arrogance. It is not the loud proclamation of your value or the need to dominate others. It is the quiet, unshakable certainty that you are worthy of your dreams and willing to do what is necessary to achieve them. If you feel the need to convince others of your worth, your belief is not yet complete. Focus instead on building results. Let your achievements speak for you. The world recognizes authenticity. When your confidence is grounded in action, not ego, you attract allies, mentors, and opportunities. Every person who achieves greatness has learned to ignore the noise of the crowd. The world will always have an opinion about your journey. Some will cheer, others will mock, most will not care. Do not tie your self-worth to applause or criticism. The man who is moved by the praise of others will be destroyed by their censure. Ground yourself in your mission. Let external reactions wash over you while you remain focused on your path. You are not here to please, but to produce. You are not here to fit in, but to stand out. If you stumble, as you surely will, do not indulge in self-pity or regret. Every failure is feedback. Study it, learn from it, and move on. The most successful people are not those who never fail, but those who refuse to let failure define them. They persist, adapt, and innovate. They treat every setback as a signal to adjust their approach, not as a reason to retreat. If you make resilience your habit, nothing can keep you from your destination. Keep your vision vivid. Write it down. Revisit it often. Add detail, color, emotion. The clearer your mental picture, the more power it has to pull you forward through difficulty. When you are tired, discouraged, or tempted to give up, close your eyes and see the life you are building. Feel the gratitude of already having it. Act from that place, and you will find renewed strength. This is not fantasy. It is the highest form of mental discipline. You are rehearsing your victory before it occurs, aligning your subconscious with your conscious goals. Never stop learning. The moment you believe you know enough, you begin to decline. Read widely, listen deeply, seek out new perspectives. Wisdom is the ability to recognize that there is always another level, another skill to master, another weakness to conquer. Approach every day as an opportunity to expand your capacity, and you will become a magnet for knowledge, mentors, and opportunities. Surround yourself with excellence. Find people who challenge you, inspire you, force you to raise your standards. Study their habits. Absorb their energy. Let their belief in themselves reinforce your own. If you are the smartest or most ambitious person in your circle, you are in the wrong circle. Growth happens at the edge of discomfort in the company of those who are striving for more. Do not fear outgrowing relationships that no longer serve your mission. Loyalty to your vision must come first. At the end of every day, measure yourself not by what you intended, but by what you accomplished. Hold yourself to account. Review your actions, your thoughts, your results. Where did you show up with strength? Where did you fall short? What will you do differently tomorrow? This habit of ruthless self-assessment is the foundation of all progress. The man who dares to see himself clearly, without flattery or illusion, is the man who is destined to rise. Remember, the journey to success is a process of becoming, not just achieving. Each day you are sculpting yourself into the person worthy of your ambitions. The more you invest in your mind, the more you believe in your power, the more you act from that belief, the faster you will move toward your goals. Do not wait for permission. Do not seek approval. Do not delay for perfect conditions. Start now. Move forward. Build momentum. Success is not an event. It is a way of life, and it belongs to those who claim it with every fiber of their being. The path is open to you. Step onto it, and do not look back. Do not confuse motion with progress. Many chase the illusion of productivity, filling their days with tasks that have little to do with their true ambitions. The difference between a life of mere activity and a life of intentional creation is as vast as the distance between mediocrity and greatness. The most successful men and women are not the busiest, but the most purposeful. They examine each action through the lens of their deepest values and greatest goals. Every yes is weighed against the cost of what must be refused. To master your destiny, you must learn to distinguish between the trivial and the vital. Ruthlessly eliminate distractions and lower priorities even when it feels uncomfortable. The ability to say no, firmly, clearly, and without apology will separate you from the majority, who are forever at the mercy of other people's agendas. Self-belief is not an accident. It is the result of deliberate construction. You build it brick by brick, decision by decision, day after day. The foundation is self-discipline. Without discipline, self-belief is hollow, mere bravado with no substance. But when you develop the habit of doing what must be done, especially when you do not feel like doing it, you accumulate evidence of your reliability. Your subconscious learns to trust you. This is the soil in which true confidence grows. Every time you resist the temptation to quit, every time you keep your word to yourself, every time you complete a task to the best of your ability, you are reinforcing the belief that you are capable, dependable, and worthy of success. Far too often, Men wait for the world to recognize their worth before they are willing to act as if they possess it. This is a fatal mistake. The world cannot grant you belief. It only reflects what you already hold inside. If you want others to treat you with respect, begin by respecting yourself. If you want to be seen as a leader, start by leading your own life with conviction. Stand tall in your own estimation, and the world will begin to take notice. If you walk with your head down, apologizing for your existence, you signal to others that you are not to be taken seriously. The external results you experience are simply the echo of your internal standards. Another fundamental truth: you cannot consistently outperform the image you hold of yourself. If your vision is small, your actions will unconsciously shrink to fit that limitation. Raise your vision, and your standards will rise accordingly. See yourself as the architect of your future, capable of creating value, influencing others, and overcoming adversity. Let this mental image burn in your mind until it becomes your new identity. When you truly believe in your power, you will no longer tolerate mediocrity in any area of your life. You will seek out challenge, embrace growth, and act with courage. No one is coming to rescue you. The longer you wait for a savior, be it a mentor, a stroke of luck, or a change in circumstances, the longer you delay your ascent. Accept full responsibility for your life. This is not a burden but a privilege. It means you have the power to direct your fate. The man who blames others, the economy, his upbringing, or the weather forfeits this power. The man who owns his choices, no matter how difficult, becomes unstoppable. Circumstances are never perfect. Resources are rarely sufficient. But resourcefulness, the inner drive to make things work with what you have, will propel you further than any external advantage ever could. Embrace adversity. The moments that break most men are the very moments that forge the uncommon. When you are knocked down, do not waste time asking, "Why me?" Instead, ask, "What must I learn? How can I use this pain as fuel?" Every setback carries with it the seed of an equal or greater opportunity. But you must be alert to find it, courageous enough to pursue it, and persistent enough to see it through. Life is a test of your resilience. The universe rewards those who refuse to surrender. You must learn to master your internal dialogue. The words you speak to yourself in moments of doubt will either poison your potential or nourish your confidence. Never say to yourself what you would not dare to say to a child you love. If you catch yourself declaring, "I can't," replace it with, "How can I?" If you catch yourself saying, "This is impossible," ask, "What must I do to make it possible?" Train your mind to look for solutions, not obstacles. This is not about blind optimism. It is about the mental rigor of refusing to let negativity take root. Develop the habit of visualizing your future in precise, compelling detail. See yourself succeeding, overcoming, thriving. Feel the emotions that come with achievement, pride, gratitude, fulfillment. When you regularly imprint this vision on your mind, your subconscious begins to align your actions, attitudes, and decisions to match. You become pulled forward by a force greater than willpower alone, the magnetic power of belief. But belief must always be matched with action. Many dream, few do. Take bold, decisive steps every day, no matter how small. Action creates evidence, and evidence destroys doubt. When you act in alignment with your vision, even imperfectly, you build momentum. Momentum is your ally. It transforms struggle into flow, resistance into routine. One courageous action begets another. Soon, the impossible becomes the inevitable. You must be relentless in your self-education. The man who stops learning stagnates. Read voraciously. Seek out mentors, not for their approval, but for their wisdom. Study those who have achieved what you desire, not to imitate them slavishly, but to distill the principles behind their success. Apply what you learn immediately. Knowledge without application is the playground of the weak. Every lesson, every insight, every experience is raw material for your advancement. Guard your environment with vigilance. The people you allow into your mind through conversation, media, or proximity shape your beliefs, your habits, your results. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to grow, who refuse to indulge your excuses, who inspire you to reach higher. If your circle is complacent, become the example they need or distance yourself without apology. Energy is contagious. Protect yours fiercely. Understand that the pursuit of self-belief and self-creation is not a straight line. There will be moments of doubt, fatigue, and failure. These are not signs to quit. They are the tolls you pay on the road to greatness. Anticipate setbacks. Prepare yourself mentally to overcome them. When they arrive, greet them as teachers. Your growth lies in your response, not your avoidance. Never measure yourself against others. Comparison is the thief of joy and the enemy of progress. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. Track your growth relentlessly, celebrate your victories, however small, and study your defeats without mercy or self-pity. The goal is not perfection, but relentless improvement. Let gratitude be the foundation of your ambition. Appreciate the opportunities, the lessons, even the hardships. A grateful mind sees abundance where others see scarcity. This abundance mindset attracts more of what you desire, resources, allies, opportunities, because it is rooted in the belief that life is generous to those who are generous in spirit. Persist longer than anyone thinks is reasonable. Most people quit too soon. They underestimate how close they are to their breakthrough. The discipline to keep moving, especially when progress seems invisible, is what separates the successful from the forgettable. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself that the pain of discipline is always less than the pain of regret. In moments of uncertainty, return to your purpose. Why did you begin this journey? What do you want your life to stand for? Purpose is the ultimate motivator. When you are driven by a vision bigger than yourself, you summon reserves of energy and courage you never knew existed. Anchor every action to your mission, and you will outlast every obstacle. Finally, remember that self-belief is not static. It must be renewed, strengthened, and proven each day. Your identity is not set in stone. It is sculpted by your choices. Act boldly. Think expansively. Live intentionally. This is the path of self-creation. The more you walk it, the more the world will yield to your vision, and the more inevitable your success becomes. There comes a pivotal hour in every journey when you must face yourself as you truly are, without masks, without pretense, without the comfortable haze of excuses. This is the crucible where character is forged. Are you willing to examine your habits, your daily conduct, your hidden beliefs with ruthless honesty? Most avoid this trial, choosing comfort over clarity, habit over growth, the familiar pain over the unknown possibility. But understand, until you face the truth of your current self, you cannot hope to create the self you dream of becoming. This process of self-examination is not for the faint-hearted. It requires courage to confront your weaknesses, discipline to correct them, and an unshakable faith that you are not defined by your past, but by your commitment to improve. Many people sabotage their own advancement by clinging to their old identity. They rehearse failures, recite the reasons they cannot succeed, and surround themselves with reminders of limitation. These anchors must be cut loose. If you would create a new destiny, you must create a new identity. This is an act of will. Declare with conviction who you are becoming, not who you have been. Every day, reinforce this new identity through your words, your actions, and your standards. When the old habits call, refuse to answer. When doubt creeps in, speak back with the voice of your chosen self. Over time, the old shell will crack and fall away, and the real you, powerful, creative, and determined, will emerge. No one will believe in you until you believe in yourself. The world mirrors your self-perception. If you undervalue your talents, others will follow your example. If you broadcast hesitation, you will attract doubters. If you project certainty and vision, you will magnetize support, opportunities, and respect. Make no mistake, belief is not arrogance. It is the quiet inner knowing that you are worthy of your goals and capable of fulfilling them. Nurture this belief not just with affirmations, but with action. Every promise you keep to yourself, every challenge you overcome, every time you push beyond what is comfortable, your faith in yourself deepens. You are building a reservoir of confidence that cannot be shaken by criticism or circumstance. A critical step in self-creation is to guard your thoughts with the same vigilance that a jeweler guards a rare gem. The mind, left untrained, gravitates toward fear, doubt, and limitation. These mental weeds will choke out the seeds of ambition unless you uproot them daily. Train yourself to focus on what you want, not on what you fear. Use the power of autosuggestion. Repeat to yourself with feeling and conviction the beliefs you wish to embody. Over time, your subconscious mind will accept these instructions and set about making them reality. What you impress upon your mind, you express in your life. Your environment is either an ally or an enemy to your self-belief. Choose your influences wisely. Books, conversations, even the music you listen to, all of these either uplift or diminish your spirit. Seek out those who challenge you to grow, who refuse to tolerate your mediocrity, who remind you daily that greatness is possible. If you cannot find such people, become that person for others. Leadership begins with self-leadership. As you rise, you will inspire others to rise as well. The ripple effect of one determined mind can transform families, communities, even nations. Adversity is the proving ground of self-belief. When the world seems to conspire against you, when your efforts go unnoticed, when progress slows to a crawl, this is when most retreat. But these are the moments that matter most. If you endure when quitting is easiest, if you persist when the outcome is uncertain, if you refuse to betray your vision for the comfort of surrender, you will emerge not only victorious, but transformed. Every struggle contains a lesson. Every setback contains the seed of an equal or greater success. Refuse to waste your pain. Let it strengthen your resolve, refine your focus, and fuel your ascent. The act of self-creation demands that you become the author of your own story. No longer can you be content to drift along, reacting to circumstances and living out scripts written by others. Decide what you want your legacy to be. Craft a vision so compelling that it pulls you forward through fatigue, discouragement, and doubt. Write your goals with clarity. Be specific, ambitious, unapologetic. Review them daily, morning and night, until they are etched into your consciousness. As you align your daily actions with this vision, you close the gap between the life you have and the life you desire. Discipline is the bridge between intentions and reality. Most people are ruled by their moods, waiting to feel inspired before they act. This is why they never achieve anything of substance. The creators of destiny act regardless of their emotional state. They show up, do the work, and keep their word to themselves, day after day. This consistency is the foundation of trust, first in yourself and then from others. The longer you persist, the more unstoppable you become. Your reputation will precede you. Opportunities will begin to seek you out. Reject the seductive lie of overnight success. Every sudden triumph you witness is the result of years, often decades, of invisible effort. The world celebrates the fruit, but ignores the roots. Do not be discouraged by slow progress. Celebrate every inch forward, for each step is a victory over inertia. The principle of compounding applies not only to wealth, but to growth. Small, daily improvements, sustained over time, create breakthroughs that appear miraculous to the outside observer. If you want to stand among the rare, do what the average refuse. Persist long after the initial excitement fades. Your habits are the architects of your future. Examine them with the cold eye of an engineer. Which actions build your confidence and capacity? Which habits erode them? Ruthlessly eliminate the unnecessary and replace it with routines that serve your mission. Morning rituals, daily planning, evening reflection, these are the scaffolding of self-creation. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. A single day of discipline may change little. A year of discipline will alter the course of your life. Success is not a solo endeavor, but it is a lonely one. There will be times when no one understands your vision, when your sacrifices seem irrational to those around you, when encouragement is in short supply. In these moments, your self-belief must become your companion. Draw strength from within. Remind yourself that every great achievement was once ridiculed, doubted, and dismissed. The opinions of the unambitious are irrelevant to the man with a mission. Walk your path with dignity, regardless of applause or criticism. Gratitude is the multiplier of achievement. Too often, the ambitious focus only on what they lack, chasing the next milestone in a perpetual state of dissatisfaction. This breeds anxiety and robs you of the fuel you need to continue. Instead, cultivate gratitude for every gain, every lesson, every opportunity. Gratitude expands your awareness of abundance, and abundance is the mindset from which true creation flows. When you are grateful, you become magnetic to further blessings, allies, and opportunities. Do not fear failure. It is the price of admission to mastery. The only real failure is in refusing to try, in shrinking from the discomfort of growth, in surrendering your agency to fear. Every error contains a lesson. Review your setbacks not with self-judgment, but with analytical curiosity. Ask, what can I learn? How can I adjust? Where did I lose focus or discipline? Then apply the lesson and move forward without hesitation. Resilience is a skill. Practice it until setbacks lose their power over your spirit. Master the art of self-encouragement. Become your own greatest advocate. When doubt whispers, drown it out with declarations of your ability and resolve. Visualize your success daily. See it, hear it, feel it as if it were already accomplished. This is not wishful thinking. It is the deliberate act of training your subconscious mind to expect and create success. Your mind is a fertile field. Plant seeds of victory and weed out the sprouts of defeat before they take hold. Your energy is your most precious asset. Protect it from vampires, those who complain, criticize, and drain your enthusiasm. Limit your exposure to negativity in all its forms. Seek out environments, ideas, and people that inspire you to reach higher. Guard your mind as you would a bank vault filled with treasure, for indeed, your thoughts are the currency of your destiny. As you create yourself, remember the law of generosity. Give freely of your knowledge, your encouragement, your assistance. As you lift others, you reinforce your own belief in abundance. Success multiplies when shared. The greatest leaders are not those who stand alone on the mountaintop, but those who bring others with them. In the final analysis, self-belief and self-creation are daily decisions. They require vigilance, courage, and relentless effort. But the rewards are immeasurable. A life lived on your own terms, the fulfillment of your highest potential, the satisfaction of knowing you shaped your destiny by conscious choice. Stand guard at the gateway of your mind. Choose your identity. Create your future. And do it not someday, but today. You are the master builder. You have all the raw materials you need: intellect, imagination, willpower, and the infinite capacity for renewal. Refuse to settle for a life of quiet desperation. Set your standard at excellence and pursue it with the intensity of one who knows the world bends to the will of the determined. In this pursuit, you will discover a power within you that no obstacle can defeat. The journey of self-creation is the highest calling of man. Embrace it without reservation. Relentlessly push forward, for greatness awaits those who dare to believe they can become more than they are. The journey to self-belief and self-creation is not a short road, but a lifelong discipline, a daily forging of mind, character, and spirit. By now, you should recognize one central truth. Your greatest enemy and your most loyal ally are found in the same place, your own mind. There is no outside force more powerful than your decision to persist. You have learned to scrutinize your habits, uproot the mental weeds, train your thoughts toward abundance, and walk with the unwavering posture of the self-created. Now, you must step beyond theory and burn your boats. No retreat. No fallback. It is action, persistence, and relentless adjustment until the world bends to your inner image. Success is not gifted to those who wait passively for their turn. Opportunity is not a polite guest who waits to be invited. It is a wild creature that must be pursued, cornered, and claimed with boldness. You must cast aside the timid wish that fortune will someday land at your feet. The world responds to those who act with conviction, who initiate rather than react, who dare to shape events instead of being shaped by them. This means you must outgrow the comfort of preparation and embrace the discomfort of action today, not tomorrow. Only in motion do you discover what you are truly made of. You are not in competition with others. The only race that matters is against your former self. Too many waste their life scanning the horizon for rivals, measuring their progress against those with different resources, backgrounds, and battles. The truly successful measure only one thing. Am I further today than I was yesterday? Each day is an opportunity to outgrow your former limitations, to push the boundaries of your ability, to prove to yourself that you are a work in perpetual progress. Envy and resentment are chains that shackle the weak. Gratitude and determination are wings for the bold. Never underestimate the impact of your environment on your mind and progress. If you remain among those who doubt, who ridicule ambition, or who dismiss improvement as futile, your spirit will atrophy. It is not enough to merely avoid the negative. You must actively seek out those who believe in growth, who challenge your thinking, who will not let you rest in mediocrity. Build your circle with intent. Associate with doers, thinkers, and visionaries. Their influence will sharpen your resolve, expand your imagination, and keep your standards high. A major pitfall on the road to self-creation is the temptation to please everyone. The need for universal approval will destroy your courage. You must accept that your pursuit of greatness will make others uncomfortable. Small minds will try to shrink you. Weak wills will attempt to shame your determination. Let their opinions become meaningless to you. The truly liberated do not seek applause or validation. They seek only to fulfill their highest calling. The roar of the crowd or the silence of solitude, neither should change your direction. Persistence is the heartbeat of achievement. Many set grand intentions and make valiant starts, but only a handful push through the storms of discouragement, the droughts of motivation, the inevitable stretches where progress is invisible. Your ability to persist, to keep moving forward regardless of what you feel, is the single greatest predictor of success. This is not a question of talent or luck, but of discipline. Each day that you persist in the face of adversity, you build mental muscle. Eventually, what once seemed impossible becomes routine. Your endurance becomes your advantage. Learn to trust your intuition. Deep inside, you already possess the blueprint for your own greatness. Logic and reason are essential tools, but your gut feeling, that inner knowing, is your direct connection to your deepest potential. When you feel compelled to act, act. When you sense a path is wrong, turn away, no matter how logical it may appear. The world will constantly attempt to impose its doubts and limitations on you, but only you know what your soul requires. Silence the noise, listen to your inner voice, and let it guide your decisions. The world is changed by those who refuse to be ordinary. Ordinary minds are satisfied with existence. Extraordinary minds demand significance. If you would rise above the average, you must make a decision once and for all to accept nothing less than your best. Raise your standards. Let mediocrity become intolerable. Review your progress with brutal honesty and refuse to accept excuses from yourself. If you do not hold yourself accountable, no one else will. The concept of overnight success is a myth that destroys more dreams than failure ever could. Every legend you admire, every story of greatness you hear, is built on years, sometimes decades, of invisible struggle, repeated effort, and quiet growth. Refuse to be seduced by shortcuts or shiny distractions. Success is not a lottery ticket. It is a wage paid daily in effort, sacrifice, and consistent improvement. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you are depositing into the account of your destiny. Vision is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Without a clear and compelling vision, you will be swept along by circumstance and distracted by every new opportunity or setback. Take time every day to revisit your vision. See it in detail. Feel it in your bones. Hear the sounds and sense the emotions of having achieved it. The more vividly you imagine, the more powerfully you attract the means to its attainment. The mind, once convinced of a possibility, will find a way to turn it into reality. Feed your vision with belief and effort. A key skill of self-created individuals is adaptability. The path to greatness is never straight. Obstacles, setbacks, unexpected turns, these are not reasons to quit, but invitations to innovate. The rigid are broken by adversity. The flexible grow stronger through it. Cultivate the habit of reframing setbacks as opportunities. Ask yourself, what is the lesson here? How can I use this experience to improve? The ability to adapt is more valuable than any single skill. It is the armor that makes you indestructible. Never neglect the power of self-reflection. Each night, before you sleep, review your day. What did you do well? Where did you fall short? What must you improve tomorrow? This daily audit is your course correction. It keeps your standards high and your focus sharp. Over time, the gap between who you are and who you wish to become will close. Fear is the only real prison. It is not the fear of failure that binds most people, but the fear of looking foolish, the fear of judgment, the fear of standing alone. You must embrace these fears, stare them down, and act anyway. The irony is that the moment you act in spite of fear, its power dissolves. The world is filled with those who will never know what they could have become because they allowed fear to decide their fate. Be the exception. Action is the great equalizer. There are those who talk about what they will do, who prepare and plan and analyze endlessly. And there are those who step into the arena and do the work. The latter may stumble, may fail, but ultimately they move further in 1 year than the dreamers move in a decade. Action breeds confidence, reveals opportunity, and sets in motion the law of compounding progress. If you wish to transform your life, act boldly, act consistently, and let results be your measure. No one owes you success. The world is not waiting to hand you your dreams. It responds to initiative, to boldness, to the relentless pursuit of a vision. If you wait for permission, you will wait forever. The successful give themselves permission. They claim their right to pursue, to strive, to win. Do not ask, will it work? Ask instead, how can I make it work? The attitude of ownership is the birthplace of achievement. At the heart of all creation is belief. If you believe you can become more, you set in motion forces, seen and unseen, that conspire in your favor. Opportunities reveal themselves. People appear to assist you. Solutions become obvious. But if you doubt, if you shrink, if you settle, the universe takes you at your word and closes the doors. Speak the language of possibility. Walk as if you already possess the confidence you seek. As you act in faith, that faith becomes fact. Remember that legacy is not measured in titles or wealth, but in the lives you touch, the example you set, the courage you demonstrate. In the final tally, your life will be a monument to either your fears or your dreams. Every day you choose which bricks to lay. The choice is yours, always. Stand now at the threshold of your own greatness. Declare with unshakable conviction that you will be the master of your destiny, that you will persist where others falter, that you will create not merely exist. That you will leave behind not a record of comfort, but a legacy of boldness, resilience, and triumph. As you embrace this commitment, you will find that success cannot escape you, for it seeks those who dare to believe, who act with purpose, and who refuse to surrender to anything less than their highest vision. This is your hour. Make it count.